Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Chat and Games. That's right, we're back. Finally, it's been a while. I apologize for that. We've been thinking about what to do with the show, new things to come up for the channel. So, welcome back to everybody listening in. I am your host for the day, Melvin, and I am joined by the sexy boys in the business, Mr. Matt.
You need to give me a new title if this is a remix.
No. Well,
it's a new beginning.
It's a new beginning for Chat and Games, but it's the same old personalities. You know what I mean? You gotta give the people what they love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the people love you, Melvin, which is why today we're going to be going in depth into your gaming history.
Yeah. So a little bit of context for this. So one of the things that we've been thinking about for this whole Chat and Games kind of reboot is in the first little while, we just told you what to do, right? We had questions, we told you our opinions, and you're like, why should I listen to these guys, right? So now, to start things fresh, we're going to introduce ourselves in a way that we haven't done it before. So for the first two podcasts, you're going to be listening into some of our gaming background, our gaming history, and we're to kind of understand where we come from, why we kind of decided to do this, and hopefully it can kind of give you a little bit of reminiscing, because me doing this exercise of going back and thinking about where, like, my gaming, I guess I don't want to say my gaming career, because it's not really that what I'm talking about. I'm mostly thinking of
your passion for video games.
Exactly. Where did it come from? Like, why do I love gaming so much? So I recommend that you do that as well, because it's actually fun thinking back. So for the first episode, it's just gonna be me, because I got a lot written down.
Melvin wrote an essay, so get comfortable.
I'm not gonna go through every single thing that I wrote in this paper, but just to let you know, when I was writing this and going back to my story, I have 4 pages like completely filled, not double space or anything, and I just made it to my 8 years old. I am 26 at the moment, so strap in. So that's why we're going to be doing this for the first time. And then next podcast episode is going to be Matt speaking through his journey. I'm actually curious, because I know parts of your story, Matt, but I don't know the whole deal.
You don't got the full picture.
No,
I feel like I'm in a similar boat with you.
All right. So hopefully this is a little bit interesting to you guys. It will be a little bit more background as to where we come from, why we do this, and where we're headed, essentially. So yeah. Let's get comfy. Matt is here also just to like make sure that I don't deviate, and also ask questions and stuff, because I think it would be cool. Fact check, yeah, totally. We grew up together in the wound. Okay, so sorry that I was looking at this screen this entire time. I just wanted to make sure that all the waves and all I got a new graphics card and a new monitor, so I wanted to make sure that things are fine. So now I'm looking at you, because this is gonna be, you sit back and relax while I tell you a story. So the year was, I don't even know. I don't remember, not really remember. But my game, when I was thinking about where I started, I had to think backwards to like, what was the first game that I remember playing?
Your earliest memory. Yeah,
the earliest memory of games, and there were 2, but I don't know which one came first. So I'm going to start with the first thing that I remember. The 2 games that I remember playing first were Super Mario Brothers 1, and in the SNES, and Goof Troop in the SNES as well. So Goof Troop is a co-op adventure game where you, Goofy and Max, go through this island and face a few different puzzles and enemies along the way. The reason I remember this so fondly is because it's one of the games that my dad used to play with me quite a bit. Aside from his normal 9 to 5 when he came home, that's like I literally begged him to play Goof Troop, and I would throw tantrums and everything until we and we actually had to beat the game. It wasn't like, okay, let's play for like a few hours. No. We had to beat the game. We got to a point that my dad doesn't really play games, but he knows that game from beginning to end. Like, that he was way better than me. And I remember getting upset at that, because I was also very competitive as a kid, and I still am. So while my dad was working, I was actually trying to beat the game by myself trying to get new pads and stuff, so I could actually get a higher score than him. Now, going to the other game, which was Super Mario Brothers 1, I remember playing that a lot because that's what my mom used to play with me. My mom used to like... Sorry.
You said that was on the SNES?
Yeah.
So was that like Mario All-Stars or something?
I believe something like that. It might like it's hard to remember which Mario I'm talking about because I don't quite remember. I think it's the same one. Like, remember that it was a remake in the Game Boy Color. They made like Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. I believe it was that one, but I'm not quite remember. I just remember doing a lot of platforming. I know it was Mario because they had the turtles and the Goombas. The levels I don't quite remember. But yeah, that's the one that I played a lot with my mom. And my mom used to like Mario Brothers platforming back in the day when it was like 2D sprites and everything. I don't remember if I beat that game. I'm pretty sure I beat Goof Troop like 17,000 times though. I remember that ending scream like... it's just plastered in the back of my memory. Now, moving forward a bit, the other game that I remember playing... Because there was a lot of SNES games that I play, but a lot of them are not the popular ones. So I didn't actually go through and play like the Zeldas, like the Yoshi's Island, Kirby, Metroid, nothing like that. What I did play was Power Rangers, the movie, the video game. Mm-hmm. And that game, Matt, I played it so much that...
So that's a beat 'em up, right?
It's like a side-scroller beat 'em up. You could play one player or two player. I remember playing that a lot.
There were a lot of games like that on the SNES, let me tell you.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, the Ninja Turtles was also a side-scroller, right?
Yeah.
And like there was a Simpsons game.
I don't know if that was on the SNES, but I remember that in the arcades for sure.
Okay, yeah, I remember that in the arcades. That's where I remember it from, right? Yeah, but there were a lot of those back in the day. But the one that I played a lot was Power Rangers. Alright, sorry about that, everybody. We had a problem where I clicked the spacebar and it kind of stopped my recording. So, like I was saying, Power Rangers, the reason that kind of appealed to me quite a bit was because you started as the non-suited form, and you had to build up your power bar to actually go and I showed the transformation animation, and that was... I don't know why that I loved doing that. And then building up your bar again to do like a super attack. I thought that was really cool. They also have very interesting levels, like a snowboarding level and a train car level, which I thought was buried quite a bit. Now that I'm thinking back, like I went back to YouTube, searched up Power Rangers the movie, the video game, the complete playthrough. The video is actually an hour and a half of somebody playing through that game. I do not remember that game being that short. It might be that I was very bad at the game because I do not remember the last level, which means I didn't actually beat this game. It's super surprising for the amount of times that I actually played this game though, because I remember playing so time as a kid kind of functions a bit different as an adult. I think time just goes by faster as an adult, or the perception of time. So maybe as a kid I thought that I played quite a bit, but I didn't play that much. But I do remember playing even summers, just playing Power Rangers the video game, because this game came. I don't know if this was actually a thing here or in South America, but the game came with like a 23-pack game, and that's the only game that I played in that. So, but I don't know if that was something that just this sketchiness in some of the stores that we got down south.
Right.
I don't know if that was a thing here. But yeah, those are the main games that I remember from the SNES era. Like I said, I didn't play Star Fox, Metroid, Kirby's, Yoshi's Island, Zelda, nothing like that. I do remember playing the Ninja Turtles, but it wasn't for too long. I think it was mostly because somebody had it. But then, moving on from that, in 1997, 98, that's when I got my N64. And believe it or not, I got that console because of my kindergarten graduation. Like, I do not know if you actually graduate from kindergarten here, but in South America that was a big thing. So for me, I remember getting the gift. Like my mom actually got it, and I just decided to open it up and play it and plug it in without her permission because I technically hadn't graduated. She just had it for me ready for the day that I graduated. So at that point, I was thrifty enough to go in and actually hook it up. I understood how to hook it up. So I remember the game that came with it was Mario Kart, and I don't know if there was Mario 64. I believe it came with Mario 64.
That sounds right. Yeah.
But Mario 64, when I started playing, it didn't impress me that much. You know what impressed me about that game when I was a kid?
What?
The ability to stretch Mario's face at the beginning of the screen. That was the main thing. I loved doing that like crazy. But then the actual game, I think I was just confused. I didn't know how to get the stars or anything. So I just kind of gave up. Mario Kart, on the other hand, oh boy, did I play Mario Kart 64 so much. I was impressed by the way the driving mechanics on an N64 back in the day. But it was a lot of fun. I remember the main stage that I remember was the beach stage, because I was always trying to get through the shortcut, and I never could. I always got to the water. Always got last. And also that train level, trying to take the shortcuts through the train. I don't even know if they were shortcuts. I just remember trying to follow the train for whatever reason. I was very, very weird back then. So yeah, I guess in N64, I guess the most memorable things are, I remember really, really wanting a Pokemon game. And I believe at that point that the Pokemon game was Pokemon Stadium. And I went to the store. I don't quite remember the store, but I remember getting there. And my mom asked, "It's like, okay, he wants a Pokemon game." It's like, okay, well, I don't think we got the Pokemon game he's looking for. And I was about to cry. But there at the corner of my eye, I remember in the store, in the window, there was a Pikachu in the cover of a video game. And I was like, oh, well, that's a Pokemon that I know. Can I get that one? My mom's like, okay, but you know how it is. You won't get a video game for another 3 years or so. But I was like, no, I want the game right now. I cannot wait. I like kids impulsive to get the game. Turned out that game is Smash Brothers.
Oh.
Yeah, I had no idea what, like, I recognized Mario because of playing Mario Kart and stuff, but I didn't recognize most of the other characters. Like, I didn't know who Samus was or Link at the time. Again, I didn't play Zelda.
Yeah. So you knew Donkey Kong and Yoshi from Mario Kart as well.
Yeah, exactly. So only the Mario Universe characters and Pikachu.
And Jigglypuff.
Well, Jigglypuff wasn't in the cover, was he?
Not on the cover, no.
Exactly. But. So I just saw the cover and I'm like, okay, I need to get that game. And oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did. Going through all the levels, playing. I think that's the game that I played the most multiplayer ever. I had a friend, like I believe it was my best friend at the time. Like he didn't have an N64, but he loved Super Smash Brothers. So all we did is, like, when after school he came to my house and we just played Smash Brothers a lot, even when the Gamecube came out. So that was one of my stories with the N64. After a while, I did end up getting Pokemon Stadium. I loved it because you could just essentially pick a new Pokemon, except that I didn't know that at the time to actually select a Pokemon, like, you can move. The movement of the selection was actually the C stick or the C arrows, the yellow arrows, and I was always using the stick, and the stick didn't work. So I always picked the first 6 Pokemon because I had no idea how to pick and select any other Pokemon.
See, for me it was almost as bad. Like, I realized you could scroll around and pick guys. What I didn't realize was that the menu scrolled down anymore. So I thought the only Pokemon you could pick were the 3 starter lines and the Butterfree line. Okay. So
just as
for
bad.
For a good while.
It was so hard.
And eventually we discovered that the menu scrolls down, and it was like a whole new world had opened up.
That's awesome. Yeah. that to me, that game was so hard because I couldn't figure it out. I think one of my cousins came to my house and he's like, okay, let's play. And he was moving the arrow and choosing different Pokemon. I was like, my mouth dropped to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I could do this entire time?
Yeah, it also didn't help that I was an idiot at Pokemon when I was a kid. I don't know if you were the same, but I'm just like, oh, Charizard, and I'll just use Flamethrower over and over again.
It doesn't matter if it was weak or anything.
That's what they do in the show.
Also, I got a note. since I was in South America at the time, I didn't know how to speak English. So even if it was not effective or super effective, I have no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, oh, it does more damage or it does less damage. I think I understood what Pokemon Stadium was after I bought one of those like Nintendo guide magazines or something. But it was translated in Spanish, right? So now it's like, oh, this means this means that. It's like, okay, makes sense. So that was my Pokemon adventure. Although I did end up getting Pokemon Stadium 2 after a while. It had a really sick cartridge. I remember if it was like gold and silver at the same time.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But I remember the battles and everything were a lot of fun. But the mini games, man. The mini games.
Yeah.
The minigames in the first one were fun, and I remember playing them quite a bit, but man, the minigames in Pokemon Stadium 2, the little spinny stadium where you have to like...
top one?
Yeah, exactly. Where you have to like take the enemies out. The Chansey one where you have to catch the eggs. The cutting game where with the boys like, ooh. Oh, I remember.
I loved the Lickitung one in the first game.
Oh, yeah. Eken's one was annoying. I didn't like that one as much. It was like...
Ekans? Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. It's like a ring.
Me and my brother didn't understand how to actually play that for the longest time.
I don't know. The minigames were a lot of fun, though. The battles were really cool. The fact that I could choose, like, the birds, the legendary birds. I never caught them in, like, the Game Boy version, so it was fun to use them there. So that's my story with Pokemon. Another honorable mention for me would be so back in the day we didn't have the internet. We didn't have like this commercials or anything for video games that much in South America, to be honest with you. But we did have one channel called Cartoon Network. And Cartoon Network used to do like this cartoon marathon on Sunday. And then after the cartoon marathon ended, it ended up with like a new reveal or a new commercial from Nintendo. Oh. And I remember that was the commercial that basically ruined my parents. Because every single game that came out in that commercial I wanted. And one of them was Mario Party 2. Oh my gosh, Mario Party. What such a fun time. Especially the second one where you could dress Mario as a cowboy. I don't know why I found that fascinating.
Well, it was like every board had different outfits for all the characters, and it was a really nice touch.
Yeah, and they had like duels specific for each of the boards, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Each board had a specific ending where whoever won would go like fight Bowser in some method appropriate to the type of board. Like for the Western one, they had a duel. Yeah, I don't remember fully what all the rest were, but
I think there was like a pirate one. I like the duels in the pirate one.
Yeah, there was a pirate one. There was some kind of like adventure one. Space one.
The best one was the cowboy one. I don't know. That's the one, the Western one. That's the one that I remember the most. It had really cool minigames too, if I remember correctly. I didn't play the first one, the Mario Party 1, because only my friend had it. And I ended up getting it later. So I went from Mario Party 2 to 1 and then 3 when it came out. I think 3 had the best minigames, if I remember correctly, in my opinion. Another one? Oh, okay. So I just got to say this one because I feel like this is the source of my collection, I don't know, persona of me wanting to complete a game, like getting platinums and everything. I think it had to do with Donkey Kong 64. Oh. Because the first my experience with it was I didn't actually get the game. It was my cousin that got it. But, well, my parents were gonna give it to my cousin as a present, and I decided, heck no, that's not happening. First of all, it comes with its own pack that I didn't know what it did, but it was something that you attached to the N64. And
and I think what that ended up being was just like extra memory because Donkey Kong was too intensive for the N64 or something.
I thought it did something cool, and I wanted it, but the main part is because the cartridge was yellow.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, oh, that's super cool. And the fact that I knew Donkey Kong from like Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers, I'm like, okay, I need to get this game. So I literally got her present. I opened it up and I decided to play it. My parents were so pissed that I did this. But my cousin didn't mind. I'm like, okay, let's just play it. That's totally fine. And after being grounded, I don't know for how long they actually got it to be because I insisted so much. That game, And like again, I didn't understand English, so it was kind of hard to traverse through the levels because I had no idea what to do. All I knew is was collecting bananas, coins, and getting all the DK family. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever because every single one of them came with a different gun or a different weapon.
Yeah. No, as a kid, Donkey Kong 64 is pretty cool. Like, just you're less bothered by there being so many different collectibles because as a kid, you're just like, oh man, there's so many different things. What's this do? What's this do?
Yeah.
Like,
But the fact is, now going back and you think about it, it's like there were so many collectibles. It's crazy.
yeah, and it's like even the basic bananas are colored so that only one Kong can collect them.
Oh, it pissed me off when I missed a banana and I had to go back to the freaking barrel and
Barrel,
choose another DK member and go back at it. I don't think I ever beat it, but because every single level I had to collect everything.
Yeah, I definitely didn't beat it.
And I was like, no, this is like, I think at some point I just got bored. But it was very late into the game. Like, it was one of the last levels. I had to go back and watch a video just to make sure. But it is. I remember the last level. I just didn't beat it. So yeah, that was my DK experience. And then I had to mention this because I always mention why, like, my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
And I think this is the moment. So I don't know if you're new to us and everything. I always mention that to me, Zelda Majora's Mask is one of the best games ever. If not one, like to me personally, is my favorite. And I think this has to do a lot with my journey through it. First of all, I didn't play it or own Ocarina of Time. That wasn't a thing for me. They didn't have a cool cartridge, so I never paid attention to it. So I only beat Ocarina of Time when it came out on the 3DS again. That's when I actually beat it. Or played it, actually. Then the reason that I played the game Majora's Mask is because my friend got it, which was also a big gamer, and the cartridge. It looked gold, like gold, and it had the chrome, I don't know, like the moving picture. I don't know what you call that.
So if you tilt it slightly, Link moves like 2 inches.
Yeah, I know it's dumb now, but oh my gosh, I thought that was amazing. That was enough to draw me in, and it also had a cool mask in the cover.
Yeah,
and the mask itself was very appealing. But I remember that game, not understanding English and playing that game. It's so difficult because I had no idea. First of all, we always died in the third day. We had no idea how to prevent it. This at the time that we just had it at my friends, so like in sleepovers and stuff, we played it and we couldn't figure it out. Then we only got, I believe, we only got to the part where we retrieved the Ocarina of Time from the Scarecrow. The Skull Kid, sorry. That took forever. Like the fact that you have to talk to these kids and then get the code and go through that tavern and everything without understanding what they're saying.
Trade it to the Deku so that you can get his flower and.
Yeah, that was it, and I couldn't figure it out, so I gave up. But when I reached 3rd and 4th grade, they started teaching me English.
Okay.
But this was like very basic English, like just normal words, and I was so excited because every single day I will ask my teacher what a word in one of the dialogues meant, because you know that they highlight the word of what you have to do.
The important words, yeah.
Yeah, so I would just jot those down, go to my teacher the next day, I'm like, what does this mean? And they would tell me, it's like, oh, that means this. And I'm like, okay, doesn't make any sense still, but I'll figure it out. And I went through the entire game like that.
Yeah.
It was all trial and error, but the good thing about it is that I got to experience the world to its entirety. I went through every single corner of that map.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what I was doing. And at the end, when I saw the deity, oh, it was so good. Like that ending and everything. Even though I didn't understand what was going on from a text perspective, I understood the mood and the whole appeal of the game, and that just stuck with me forever.
Yeah, the music really sells the atmosphere and just like what's going on.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people is like, oh, the time and everything. For me, the time was annoying too at the beginning, but understanding that now what was going on, it's like, oh, I don't know. It has a very special place because of all of the way that I went through it and how long it actually took me to beat it. but it was one of the games. It's like, okay, you persevere, and it will happen.
Yeah.
So more on so yeah, I have a lot more stories, but again, I don't want to derail this too much because otherwise it's gonna be a heck of a long podcast. But games that are also worth mentioning: Pokemon Snap, beautiful. I have a story with that, but we'll tell you some other day. Now there's a lot of games that really I didn't actually get to play that were kind of popular. Was Animal Crossing in the N64?
Only in Japan.
Only in Japan.
We
okay.
only got it on the GameCube.
Okay. So I didn't miss it then, but I didn't play that. I didn't play like Star Fox 64.
Any Metroid game.
Any Metroid game. Like a 007. I got to play that on a friend's house. That's about it. I didn't play it. I didn't
Banjo?
own it. Sorry?
Banjo? Did you play Banjo?
I did play Banjo, yes. I do have a story associated with that. I did not beat it though. I sucked too much at the time. And I think I was playing it at the same time that I was playing Donkey Kong. And those games are kind of back then they were similar, right? Because it's a 3D platformer where you collect things.
But Banjo only has one character, so it's not as good.
Exactly. Well, they did have the bird. I did enjoy flying with the bird. I just it hated the fact that you had to collect feathers to actually fly. Like, just let me fly. The bird can fly. So now the main thing that I didn't get to was in the span of the N64. One of the cartoon commercials that I mentioned showed the Game Boy Color. And guess what? I had to get it. So for Christmas, I got the Game Boy Color. It brought Super Mario Bros. Deluxe and Pokemon Yellow. Pokemon Yellow, again, not in English and everything, actually got frustrating because I had no idea where to go. I also didn't know how to beat Onyx with a Pikachu. So that frustrated me. So I didn't play that long. I actually played more Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. But after a while of playing Super Mario Bros. Deluxe and not having another game in the Game Boy Color, and me taking like family trips, and that's the only, that was my handheld console. I did go back to Pokemon, and I did end up like kind of struggling through it, but I did get it. I did end up getting to the third gym, the Thunder Gym, and giving up. And it wasn't until I got to Red and Blue, I actually got both of them. My parents, I don't know why. I quite remember why they got me two of them. But I had a Charmander, and that was all I needed in my life. So from then on, I didn't need that electric rat. That electric rat could stay away. And Charmander that actually evolves. For me, a Pokemon that didn't evolve was automatically put in the PC. I don't care about you. If you don't evolve, I don't care about you. So all the Pokemon that evolved, the Charmander, having to get him into Charizard and all that sort of stuff, I actually beat the Elite Four. I got my Mewtwo. I did not get the birds though. To this day, I have no idea where the birds are in the Pokemon game, on the first gen Pokemon game. Other things that I got from the Game Boy Color were like Donkey Kong Country, the other Pokemons, and Pokemon Pinball was a lot of fun for some reason.
Yeah,
I remember playing that quite. It had like a vibration thing, so I think that was fun. Don't quite recall it that much. I just recall playing it a lot. Anything that had to do with Pokemon at that point, I was obsessed. So moving forward, coming out in 2001, of course, the Cube showed up, purple, nice. And the main thing that they showed up, it was Super Smash Brothers Melee. Are you kidding me? After playing Super Smash Brothers for that many hours, there's no way that I wasn't gonna get that one. So the problem with South America is most of the time either things are very expensive because they're exported, or you cannot find them. Fortunately, at the time, my dad actually did trips to the States, and of course, what did I ask for? I need to get my GameCube. I need to get my GameCube. So I got Smash Bros. Melee in Christmas, but in South America, you don't actually open your presents like the day after Christmas, or on the 25th. Sorry.
Yeah.
We actually stay up until midnight and play, and actually open the presents then. So I stay until midnight, open up my GameCube with Smash Bros. Melee. I think it came with like Wave Racer and the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, I think. I didn't care. I just threw them out. Like, I literally threw them away. I was just focused on playing Smash Brothers Melee, and that's the first time that I remember collapsing from playing.
Oh God!
Like
the first time.
That was the first time.
This has happened other times since then.
Oh yes, I mean more more as an adult than anything else. It's because I'm old. But this one I collapsed. I remember passing out. My mom had to like take me to bed and everything. I was playing through the story mode at the time. I needed to unlock everything. So the GameCube was interesting because I also didn't play most of the popular games. I remember I did play Mario Party 4, 5. I stopped there because then they introduced a microphone and I thought that was stupid. Sonic Adventures 2, I remember playing that quite a bit. Only the beginning stage because that was pretty cool. Finding the Chaos Emeralds was stupid.
Yeah.
So I decided not to do that. Even though I'm a collector guy, I didn't like that.
Yeah, you didn't like the Knuckles levels.
Oh my gosh, the Knuckles and the vampire girl. I don't know I remember her name. But that was tough. I did the first Star Fox game I remember playing was Star Fox Adventure.
Oh yeah.
And that stuck with me forever. I know everybody says it sucks, but it was literally like a Zelda game to me. Yeah. And the only Zelda game that I experienced was Majora's Mask.
Yep.
So that one was a lot of fun. Played a lot of FIFA. Being South American, you have to do that. It's a law. Then I played. But the sport, like that's when I was getting into sports a little bit more. So I needed to combine my two passions: sports and games, and Mario. So we got Mario Strikers and Mario Baseball. Oh gosh, I broke 2 controllers with Mario Baseball, and the stick of one with Strikers. I remember.
Wow.
Because my parents got upset. Because I used to play with my brother at that point. My brother was competent enough to play with me. And not only competent enough, he actually started beating me, and I started getting so upset. I hate losing. Hated losing. I threw the controller at the wall one time. That's when I got grounded.
Oh. My
first controller throw. I still remember it. It made a hole in my brother's closet. That's how angry I was. But yeah, the GameCube also missed a lot of great games. Like Wind Waker, didn't play that. Paper Mario, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart Double Dash. Believe it or not, even though I love Mario Kart 64, I didn't get Mario Kart Double Dash. I have no idea why. I did not get to play Mario Tennis, which is another story from the N64 that I didn't tell this time. Again, Pokemon Coliseum, didn't get that one either. Tails, nothing. So it was mostly sports games and the occasional main title in the series. I did, in the middle of that though, I did get a PlayStation. My dad went and bought one for me, and it came with Beyblade. Beyblade is like that. Do you know what Beyblade is?
Yes.
Okay. Just to make sure everybody who doesn't know. Beyblade what used to be... What do you call those things? Spinners?
Tops.
Sorry?
Tops.
Pops? Okay. Those things...
Tops.
Oh, okay.
T-O-P.
Oh, tops. Gotcha. So that was a sensation. Like Beyblade took the world by storm. And I was playing the physical game. Like they came and you actually battled them in the arena. Oh my gosh! I think one of my friends got a bloody. What was it? He was literally leaning against the battle just to see how they chipped away at each other, just to see if they made sparks when they hit each other. And he got and one of them flew to his face and it caught him. And that's when they banned him in the school because of that.
Wow.
And at that point, I was like, just ban him. Like, why would he do that? But yeah, they banned him, so we started playing the digital version, Beyblade. The reason that I got a PlayStation wasn't because it was very, like, a game really attracted me. It was because it was easier to get PlayStation 1 games than it was to get GameCube games. It was cheaper, a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So I was able to play a lot more than getting things on the GameCube. So that's where, like, I played Bloody Roar, which was a fighting game. Oh, I played so much of that. I remember getting blisters from trying to get the combos on that. I didn't play Resident Evil, but I played the dinosaur variant, the Dino
Dinosaur
Crisis.
Crisis, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Twisted Metal, Final Fantasy One. I did not play any other ones, just Final Fantasy One, and the top of the top, 101 Dalmatians Golf. That was so fun because it's one of the games that it was not only 2-player, it could be 8-player. You just had to pass a controller around.
Yeah.
So if you had a bigger group of people, it was a lot of fun to play around with. So yeah, those are like my memorable mentions. Then I got to like my Game Boy Advance, because of the Game Boy Color broke and I needed a new handheld. And at the time, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire were coming out, so being a Pokemon fanatic, I needed them. But I remember for me to get Pokemon Sapphire and Pokemon Ruby, I only saw one in the Nintendo Power magazine. I don't know if it's called the same thing, but I only saw a picture of the trainer and Torchit at the time. It was only that picture because that was the only thing that they were showing. And I speculated like crazy, like, what is this game gonna do? I really hope that they do that is 3D like Pokemon Stadium. I really hope that it has like this progression where I can play with other players, all this sort of stuff. I was basically imagining like the next gen Pokemon.
Yeah.
So kind of disappointed when I actually got it because my expectation, it was basically just an upgraded version of the previous ones with new creatures.
Yeah.
But I got Blaziken and I was happy.
But
so
those trumpets, man.
Those what?
The sound font in Ruby and Sapphire is so many trumpets, and I love it.
Do you love it?
I love the music in that game. It's easily my favorite Pokemon soundtrack.
It is. I don't remember the soundtrack that fondly, to be honest with you. I remember the thing that struck me the most was we were moving and I could get into the truck to get some of the boxes out, and like Macho was helping me move things around. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Pokemon can actually help you out here.
What about when you got the running shoes? Wasn't that just revolutionary?
It blew my mind. I was like, for a second, I thought that I just missed them in the previous titles for some reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if this has been in the game for so long, I would have been mad. But no. That running shoes were the best thing that happened to Pokemon. Yeah, so I got those. I played a few more, but then my Game Boy Advance broke. But it's okay, because my brother had a Game Boy SP at the time, and I just stole it. Basically, didn't let him play it. I put stickers, like, as a kid, if you put stickers on your console, it means it's yours. It's like marking your territory. That's what I did. After that, we jump into the Nintendo DS. I got the original gray brick one.
Yeah, the clam.
The clam, yeah, like you can throw it at somebody and might actually hurt them because it was so big.
But it'll never break.
Yeah, it was sturdy though. I will give you that much. It came with Mario 64 DS. That was the first time that I actually beat Mario 64.
Yep.
I think I got very far on the N64, but I didn't actually beat it. And it came with a demo of Metroid Hunters, my first Metroid.
Yeah.
I think Metroid Hunters was the reason that I never got into Metroid.
Right.
Because it was like, I'm a ball. I roll around. How fun. Like, it's not really that fun. It wasn't that fun for me, at least. I actually prefer to play Picto Chat than the demo.
Oh, yeah. Picto Chat in early DS days was something else.
It was awesome, though. Like, this was pre-smartphone era, right? So you can draw on the screen with a stylus. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, at that point, we're like entering the teenage years, so your mind is a little bit corrupted. You start drawing things that you shouldn't. I thought that was a lot of fun. But yeah, after that, I remember how I got my Wii. My Wii is like, okay, you got this Zelda game. I remember, okay, the reason that I didn't get Wind Waker was because it was cartoony.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I was so
You were going through that phase.
I was going through that phase. I told you, like, I was like, the GameCube games that I got were more like FIFA and all this sort of stuff. So I was getting into the phases like, oh, I want like realism because I'm a man.
So then you saw Twilight Princess and you're like, yeah, that's my kind of Zelda.
Exactly. That you knew where I was going with this. Like, I saw Twilight Princess. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one I want. I don't care. It looks sick. Especially because it was like dark and gritty, like Majora's Mask.
Yep.
I'm like, I need it in my life. And the Wii was coming out, so I decided not to play it on the GameCube, and decided to, like, Mom, I told my parents, Mom, I need this game. It's like, okay, can you buy it on the current console? No, it doesn't come out on the GameCube. Are you sure? Yeah, absolutely sure. I need a Wii. So I got the Wii. I got the Wii, and at the beginning, I couldn't figure out what nunchuck meant. And one of the initial stages of Twilight Princess is that you gotta do this combat training, and you gotta like wiggle around the nunchuck. And I was wiggling around the Wiimote, and it wasn't doing anything. And I was stuck there for 3 days.
Oh, jeez.
I had no idea what it meant, because in order to do a spin attack, you had to spin the nunchuck or like shake the nunchuck. It wasn't until like I threw the controller in the couch because I was so upset that he did the spinny thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. So that's when my mind kind of, like, bling. It made sense.
Yeah.
So I played Twilight Princess to completion. It was so much fun. It took me a year to beat it, though. I'm not saying that I beat it like right away. It took me a long time. A lot of frustration.
Pretty long by Zelda standards.
It was quite long. I'm supposed to popular belief or not belief. I guess people don't like the wolf stages. I enjoy those. I don't know why. It was fun to collect things, I guess.
The bug hunting, yeah.
Yeah. So, Twilight Princess still amazing. We'll get to that in a sec. But I did play a lot of Wii Sports. Oh my gosh. So much Wii Sports.
Yeah.
My Wiimote flew out the window in one of those. It wasn't my fault, though.
Which game was your preference?
Bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of bowling, and then tennis and boxing were also up there for me.
Like boxing, like bowling was because everybody wanted to play bowling. When everybody play, like people that not usually play games, like cousins, parents, all that sort of stuff. We just played bowling because it was the easiest one to actually get a grasp on.
Yep.
So we played that, and I remember one of my friends was playing, and I didn't get him to strap in, and he threw that freaking controller out the window.
Yeah, I had a cousin throw the controller directly above the TV.
Actually?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so many Wiimotes died to freaking Wii Sports. But the problem is with the Wii is, again, I was in that stage of life where I wanted realism in my life.
Yep.
So Wii games didn't actually, they were not doing it for me. I did get Brawl, because why wouldn't you get Brawl? It's Super Smash Brothers. But a lot of the other titles I didn't actually get. So I didn't get to play my Wii for a lot. I did get to play Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Best Dragon Ball game I ever played in my life. It's incredible because it was 3D. It had all the stories. It had what-if scenarios. The super attacks were actually well animated by that time standard. And the fact that you could transform mid-battle, like it takes all the things for me. I know it's not necessarily a competitive fighting game because a lot of the moves were really broken. You could potentially
I do remember that being a big selling point though at the time, that you could transform mid-battle as opposed to every transformation being its own character.
Which it still could be. Like, you could move the wheel and you can have, like, Goku early, Goku mid, Goku late. And Goku late is the one that had all the transformations. But the fact that they got all the special attacks for each of the different eras, I thought that was amazing. Plus, I could do some of the ultimate attacks had, like, extra interactions. Like, if you did Gohan Super Saiyan 2 Father Son Kamehameha, and you hit the target, it did a little animation where the target kind of stops the blast with their hands. And then Gohan just goes, and then you hear Goku saying, "Now!" And you go full blast. I thought that was the coolest thing. I fell in love with Gohan even more at that time. But yeah, those are the honorable mentions on the Wii era. But then, that's when we did the actual transition, moving to Canada. And when moving to Canada, my dad, as a present, he got me Spider-Man for the Wii. Yeah. And he got my brother an Xbox 360 with Call of Duty 2. And I don't think that was a fair trade, to be honest with you.
No, doesn't sound at all balanced.
My dad didn't get it at the time. I'm like, you asked me to get your Spider-Man, but you got him a console. It's not the same. So we played 360 quite a bit until we got the red eye. 3 times, by the way. That's when I threw 360 out the window because it literally broke 3 times with the red eye. And that's when we got the PlayStation 3. I'm skipping a bit here because it's between that time there was a few. I think I did a blackout of video games around that time. Started playing more sports instead, but then I got the PlayStation 3 and I got that little pling sound. You know what I mean? That pling, the trophy unlocked.
Yeah.
And that's when
then you were hooked.
I don't know, like what my compulsive personality came in. And it's like, okay, I need to get every single trophy that I freaking get, that I can have. So I got a lot of PlayStation 3 games just for the mere fact of collecting trophies, but I got to experience great games at the time. Dead Space, my gosh, beautiful. Assassin's Creed, even though the first one wasn't that good, but then Assassin's Creed 2, and then one remarkable moment for me was breaking one of the controllers, so me and my brother couldn't play multiplayer, and getting a controller and game pack. I didn't care about the game. I just wanted the controller. The controller was blue. Was because of trophies. I just got obsessed with collecting every single trophy and getting the highest level possible, more than anybody could get in my school. I don't know why that was a goal of mine, but I decided to make that a goal. And at one point, me and my brother used to play a lot. One of the games that we used to play quite a bit was Mortal Kombat versus DC. We used to play quite a bit of Mortal Kombat at the time, and this one had like Batman and Superman in it, so I thought it was pretty cool. We broke one of the controllers in one of our fights, so we had to go to the store, buy another one. And I remember the controller was blue, and there was no other controller that was blue at the time. And I'm like, okay, I want to try that one. It looks really cool. And it came with a game. I didn't really care about the game. The game, though, changed everything. Changed the way I looked at games. That game was Uncharted. I didn't know about Uncharted. I didn't care about Uncharted. It came with a controller. And I played Uncharted 1. By that time, Uncharted 2 was coming out. I finished Uncharted 1, Platinum Uncharted 1, and looked online to see when the heck is Uncharted 2 coming out, because I cannot play any other game at the moment. I don't know what drew me. Like, it was a story, this Indiana Jones collecting treasure, and it was set in El Dorado and this fictional setting. I thought it was, I don't know, it blew my mind of what storytelling could do in games. At that time, the other reference that I got, I don't know if Assassin's Creed 2 came after or before, but I'm pretty sure I played Uncharted after I played Assassin's Creed 2. So Assassin's Creed 2 was the top of storytelling for me at the time. And right. I saw Uncharted and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't compare. So you had those. Played Uncharted 2. Again, loved it. Incredible. Like, it's one of the best Uncharted. One of the best games ever. Not only Uncharted. It's definitely the best Uncharted. Then from then on, I started playing other games. So I think the PlayStation 3 is the one that I experienced the most games. Resistance, Killzone, all this sort of stuff. They didn't draw my attention that much. I played all the Call of Duties too. Didn't actually get competitive because I was more of a single player person, getting trophies instead of getting into competitive games, even though a lot of people play them competitively at the time. And I did, and then I got Mass Effect. Like, the fact that I experienced the Mass Effect trilogy, amazing. Because Mass Effect 1 didn't come to the PlayStation until it came with the trilogy. So I only got to experience all 3 games at once. And amazing, it was worth it. Like I said, because the 360 just kept breaking and breaking, so we at the end of the day, they gave us one of the newer ones because they were tired of us coming to the store and replacing it. And then that's when I experienced other games on the 360. But on PlayStation 3 is when I experienced so many games. Because again, my Wii at the time was like, I don't want to play this. I only played a few other core titles which were amazing, like Mario Galaxy. I didn't get play to the second one. I played on the first one. I still need to play the second one. And then from then on, didn't get a Wii U until very late because I didn't see the appeal, even though the Wii U had a lot of great games. And now from then on, I've been getting every console and every game.
Yeah.
So that's my whole gaming story. And one of the things that I didn't mention there, that's how I play games. But since the beginning, like I said, I have been playing games since as long as I can remember. Got a lot of consoles, as you can see, a lot of games to experience, and that sparked my love to actually go and try to create these things. And that's what I went to university for. I decided to do engineering, but if it was any other engineering, I would have dropped out. It had to be software because that's the only one that would actually get me to do and program games, and that's where I'm at right now. I make games for a living while I talk about games for a hobby.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh my gosh, that was too long. I shouldn't have said that much. But anyway, if you were curious as to why we talk about games and all this sort of stuff, it's because there's a big passion of mine. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's basically a lot of the things that I think about throughout the day. Like I follow the industry, I make games, I try to try to play games, experience everything, because every single game out there is a new experience to have and a new feeling to convey, and I don't want to miss that. So that's why I do this, what I do. All right, Matt, that was it.
All right. Thanks for sharing that with me and with whoever else decides to listen to this.
I know. It's a bit on the longer side. So if you stayed with me this long while I told my story, while you were drinking water by the fireplace, because I don't know if you're old enough to drink yet, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So, again, this is the reboot of Chat and Games. You will be able to see this on the YouTubes and podcast services. I'm dropping SoundCloud because it's too much of a hassle to actually get through it. But you can get it anywhere else. So don't be lazy. You can get it. You can catch us on all the podcast services. You can see this on the YouTube, where we are also thinking of posting other types of content. A little bit more on the creative side, more on the playing game side. So keep an eye out on YouTube. Just search It's All Fun and Games and you'll see us there. Next week, we'll see if Matt goes through this long about talking about himself. If he's as narcissistic as I am.
Well, you know me. I love to talk about myself. So.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if I can outdo Melvin.
So all these years here, I hope that you also get to do some of this exercise. Think back of like, okay, what was the first game I played? Or what did that lead to? What did that come from? And then like, where did that passion come through? Because a lot of the times I feel that if you understand where you come from, also in gaming, you understand why you fell in love with certain games in the first place, and you start cutting out some of the overhead of things that are you're basically playing just because you're being influenced by somebody else. Or by the hype around the industry. So if you want to share those stories with us, I would love to hear. I love talking about games. I love hearing about how other people got into games and why are people so passionate and excited to play games. You can do that by email us at itsallfunandgamestv@gmail.com or by commenting in any of the platforms that you're listening or watching this. And until next time, that's it. Matt, any final thoughts?
Bye.
Alright, that was Chat and Games, signing off.